In 5 minutes. Please find your seats. The program will begin in 2.5 minutes. Please put your phone on airplane mode. The program will begin in 60 seconds.
Hey everyone, my name is Sarah Strent. I'm 17 years old and a senior in high school. I am from Long Island, New York, and I love to sing, dance, and be outside with my friends. I am a local and international leader, and this year I was fortunate enough at the International Shabbaton to be named C-Teen Female Leader of the Year. So, we all know how crazy the coronavirus is. I assume you've all heard about it on the news or on social media. So, regarding where I live on Long Island, we are pretty much staying quarantined. I have been stuck in my house for 3 days now. And my school is canceled for 2 weeks as of now. It's possible it will be extended. But some things I'm doing to keep myself sane is just doing some schoolwork to get ahead, looking at my future college, which is Penn State. So I'm doing some research on that. I've actually been davening every day with my sitter and also learning some teachings of the Rabbi, which are things that are great to do to stall for time. So now, before Rabbi Chaikin takes over, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. After Rabbi speaks, there's going to be a C-Teen trivia question. The winner will win $50 to the C-Teen Gear Shop. Ooh. I don't know about you guys, but this Torah class is exactly what I need right now. So, Rabbi Chaikin, take it away. Enjoy, guys.
Hi, C-Teeners. Welcome to our class tonight on following the rules. Is it freedom or is it slavery? I'm sure all of you are home, stayed home all day today, either on an early spring break or having online classes while you practice your social distancing required wherever you may be. But by joining tonight's class, you are strengthening one of the pillars that the world stands on. We know that the world stands on three important pillars: the pillar of Torah, the pillar of tefillah or prayer, and the pillar of tzedakah, of charity. By connecting to this class and listening to this class, you are strengthening in this very interesting time the pillar of Torah study. It's also a great time to add in prayer, whether it is for boys putting out tefillin and saying a little davening, or girls just adding in a little bit of prayer, and tzedakah, putting a few extra coins or dollars in your charity box, or going online and donating to your local Jewish charity, or whichever Jewish charity you see most fit. These are great ways to strengthen those three pillars in which the world stands on. The topic for tonight's class is following the rules, freedom or slavery. And it's relevant in this time because we are coming up to the holiday of Passover, the holiday of Pesach. And the holiday of Pesach, like every Jewish holiday which has its theme, is called the holiday or the time of Cherutenu, our freedom or our emancipation. Passover doesn't seem like a very free time, does it? You can't eat chametz, you gotta eat matzah, you need to eat a certain amount of matzah, you gotta have the 4 cups of wine, attend to seders, and all different types of things. But really, Passover represents the freedom of accepting the Torah. Because when we left Egypt, which is what we were declaring freedom from, we went and accepted the Torah directly on Mount Sinai. And I'm sure all of you are asking, accepting the Torah? Freedom? 613 biblical mitzvahs, 7 rabbinic mitzvahs, and tons of rabbinic enactments by the sages and rabbis throughout time? How could that be freedom? And my friends, my fellow C-Teeners, this is an age-old Jewish question. that you're not the first ones to ask, and there are wonderful answers that we were going to discuss today. The answer is not my own. It actually comes from a letter of the Rabbi. The Rabbi would periodically throughout the year send out letters addressed to the greater Jewish community. And he would address them to the greater Jewish community, say, "Dear the greater Jewish community, or my Jewish brothers and sisters, wherever you may be, or in every single place," and with a special holiday message, an inspiration for every single person to have and take with them for that holiday. In one such letter in 1958, dated the 11th of Nisan, which is happens to be the Rebbe's birthday, the Rebbe addresses the idea of freedom and says that freedom is actually relative. Everybody has a different definition of freedom. Everything has a different definition of freedom. Freedom depends on the situation in where one or something may find itself. Let's examine something that we can all agree is not freedom. If you've ever visited a jail, hopefully to only visit inmates there who need your light and inspiration, perhaps for a holiday, or perhaps just to bring life to the dark walls of prison or jail, you'll know that people in jail must follow lots of different rules. They need to go to sleep on a certain time, they need to wake up on a certain time, they need to eat at a certain time, and they need to behave a certain way. And there's a reason it's called prison, for that very reason. And I'm sure all of you are asking, well, Judaism says the same thing. You got to wake up at a certain time, you got to go to sleep at a certain time, you must eat a certain way, you must not eat a different way, you must even tie your shoelaces in a certain way. How can that be freedom? Well, before we get there, let's imagine another example of something that is definitely not freedom. And that is, if there were no rules and no regulations, we would have a chaotic world. We would have a place where people would be free to leave their homes, and even while they are in their homes, almost like coronavirus, you would be stuck at home, and there would be nothing to do, and even you would be less safe because while you're stuck at home in coronavirus, you know that you're safe from people on the outside. But if there would be no rules, people would be able to barge into your home at any time, take and loot, or God forbid, do who knows what during while you're even hunkered down in your home. If there would be no rules and regulations, we would be in utter state of chaos. That can't be freedom either. So let's go back to what is the definition of freedom by examining how freedom would translate itself in each and every situation. Let's take vegetation or trees or anything that grows from the ground. How would it be free? And yeah, it's hard to think, how can a tree really be free? How can a grass really be free? We don't really think about, they're not really people, they're not really living things, but they are in a certain sense living. Take grass or trees, for example. They're stationary, they don't move, but they're free. Because as long as they're connected to the ground and the nutrients and water and sunlight, they can grow into the most green grass or most tall tree, or if it's a fruit tree, it can grow the most delicious fruit, or the vegetable plants can grow delicious and tasty fruit and vegetables. By contrast, an animal, even if you would give it all its nutrients, water and sunlight, and even all its food, if an animal could not move, that animal would not be free. An animal, unlike vegetation, must be able to move and roam around in order for it to be free. Take now the human being, the person. If a person were to be able to move, have food, have all its nutrients, and have everything taken care of for it, the human would still not be free. What differentiates a human and an animal and vegetation is that the human can think. The human can know how to do something. It can learn, it can study, and it can grow and refine its character traits and can continuously be a better person, smarter person, a more knowledgeable person. And that is what constitutes freedom for a human being. So if you see, vegetation is free in one way, animals are free in another, and humans in an entirely third way. But if you notice, freedom by the tree or grass or vegetation in general means that it can grow to be the best grass, the most beautiful grass, or the tallest tree with the most delicious fruit, or those beautiful tomatoes that you grow in your garden. And animals, as long as it can graze and take care of its young, it can be the best animal it can be. That is freedom for an animal. And the same thing too is with the human, with the person. By being able to think and being able to refine a person's character traits and grow and become smarter, it too grows to be the best human it possibly can. So now think about that for just a minute. What makes a person able to grow in the best way possible? So some of you may think that freedom is that you don't have to go to school, just like now. You're free from a lot of testing, which I'm sure is great. I would not want to be testing right now. But if you think about it, schooling is so important. And so are many of our different rules and regulations that we have. They are really for our benefit. Think about the coronavirus for a moment. There are many different rules that I'm sure are in place wherever you may be. Some may not even be able to go out of their house. Some may be able to go out of their house, but only if they absolutely need to. And even to those that have a little bit more freedom, everything is limited. Stores are closed, libraries are closed. Many different things have limited our ability to function. You can look at this though in two ways. You can look at it, oh, this really sucks. I can't do anything. And yes, it does. It is very limiting. But if you think about it in the long picture, is that all these regulations are necessary in order that we as people can survive this virus and can then grow to be more free people. And we can go back to roaming the way we were, back to be able to go to school, back to be able to think, study, and grow once again. How would we translate this idea to the Torah? The Torah is our guidebook for how to be the best possible people we can. So all these rules that the Torah has, they're not rules to limit us. On the contrary, all these rules free us. Because what does freedom mean? Freedom means the ability to grow to be the best possible thing in my situation. If I am an animal, to be the best animal grazing in the grass. If I am a tree, to grow to be the tallest tree and most beautiful tree in the garden. And as a human, and most especially as a Yid, as a Jew, our job is to grow to be the best Jew we possibly can. And that is by connecting to Hashem. All these rules allow us to connect to Hashem in the best way possible. To give you one last metaphor, we talk about the American dream. Lots of people discuss the American dream, that this country was founded so that people could have the American dream. What does the American dream mean? Does that mean that people are free entirely, that there are no rules and they can do whatever they want? Or it means that we have rules and our country is set up in order that people can grow to be whatever they possibly can be. An artist can grow to be the best artist they can be in this country. And a businessman can grow to build the biggest business in this country. And that's what the land of the free and the home of the brave really mean. So how much more so as a Jew who follows the Torah, that if we follow the Torah's rules, we can grow to be the freest of all people. We can grow to refine all our character traits, to be rid of anger, to be rid of grudges, to connect to Hashem, and really be the best human beings and best Jews that we possibly and ever can think of. And that, my friends, is true freedom. So when Hashem took us out of Egypt, and the sages called this the time of our freedom, we accepted the Torah, and that is what made us free. Because now we had the guidelines, the rules, to be the best possible Jews we can. So my friends, fellow Seitiners, when you think of the Torah sometimes being limited, think about how much better of a person you're becoming, how much freer you're becoming, because you are living up to your potential. You are living up to the best possible Jew you can. I hope that all of you stay happy, healthy, and safe. Have a good night.
Hey guys, I'm back. Thank you so much, Rabbi Chaikin, for that incredible and amazing Torah class. Now, I hope you guys didn't forget about the trivia question. Here's how it works. The 10th person to answer the question correctly will win $50 to Caikin's Gear Shop. Send your answer directly to Caikin's Instagram @_Caikin. The winner will be announced on Instagram. Are we ready for the question? Drum roll, please. In what year did Caikin's summer program, Heritage Quest, start? I'll say it one more time. In what year did Caikin's summer trip, Heritage Quest, start? FYI, everyone should go on Heritage Quest. It is incredible. I went last summer, and my life has been changed for the better. I'll talk more about that if you want to hear another time. Now, you guys aren't the only ones that want to win that $50. I got to go answer the question also, because I'm in it to win it. So, don't forget, tomorrow's live challah bake with Rachel Flickstein is at 7 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Time. I'm looking forward to getting ready for Shabbat, physically and spiritually. I hope everyone stays safe and has a great Shabbos, and make sure to tune in tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Bye, guys!